At first, it would be expedient if the environment and that Georgia is facing, our main challenge coming out from the hard situation of the 2008, Georgia faced a cyber threat. We touched upon this question, our previous presenters, and I will definitely mention why this is very actual. The Russian Federation is the main producer of this campaign. They still have these means, and they developed in above mentioned direction these possibilities. And attitude of the information security, Georgia increased its security, the potential threat, its and the Russian Federation in a cyber domain, they have not changed their behavior. Our next threat today in the cyber security architect are the hacking, and which is not conducted by state, and they are sporadic, just like it was in 2008. Third one. The third one, and the third one is the activities regarding the espionage. Georgia still is facing this threat. We have a couple of examples. Classified. Although they have classified information.
This was your board case brief, and the main perpetrator here was Russian Federation. The main interest possessor in this was Russian Federation, but this is not the only investigation, and we cannot talk about this specifics of this case because it contains confidential information, classified information, and we cannot reveal this. Another significant threat is a cyber crimes related to most serious offenses, and other offenses linked to this is unauthorized access. This could be unauthorized access to classified information, as well as other crimes in financial sphere by means of cyber attack. Another significant threat could also be posed from internal sort of danger spots. This may be mitigated, and it's mostly related to lack of personnel, and the threat is our entire field is under development, and that's why we feel certain shortages in this area in terms of manpower. The main actors of these threats are, as I mentioned, Russian Federation, first of all, based on facts, number of illegal activity that has been going on against us by Russian Federation. They also do certain different psychological operations or propaganda. So not only cybercrime as such is carried out, but also Some other political activities are carried out by cyber means or in cyber area, and they're trying to expand the scale of their illegal activity against Georgia. The third group of actors are those who commit the most serious crimes in cyber sphere, but this threat, in comparison with above mentioned, are relatively less serious comparatively to previous ones. Another important issue is strategic policy framework in our infrastructure, which we have, and we can see main actors: national security concept of Georgia, which is a foundation for all other regulation. Another document is threat assessment document of Georgia, which also reviews all the threats around national security strategy, and another one is cybersecurity strategy and ad hoc action plan. And the final document in this area are the strategy on combating organized crime, considering the third chapter is entirely dedicated to the fight in the fight of cyber crime, and we have various action plans on this according to all these directions, and this action plan is a mean to achieve outcome in this area. And all the agencies involved in fight against cyber criminality, they are operating based on the following principles: cybersecurity as an integral part of national security, and another is that the whole of government approach, like a unified approach, both in terms of planning as well as implementation. The third principle is in cooperation with private sector. Georgian government is carrying out cybersecurity awareness programs as a main actor, and the next is cooperation between public and private sectors, and also other relevant agencies institutional capacity raising campaign. Another topic is institutional organization. It has been said a lot about this, so I won't go into details. As for the State Security and Crisis Management Council, is a consultative body under the Prime Minister and works on elaboration of national cybersecurity policy framework and basically all issues related to this. And the first function is, of course, the elaboration of national cybersecurity policy framework, the main documents in this area. Also, Council conducts coordination of relevant agencies in the process of identifying threats, as well as also plans risks directed against cybersecurity. And again, in concert with other organizations, ensures assurance of necessary measures for their elimination. Also, Georgian government and Prime Minister, as a head of the executive branch, elaborates special recommendations related to strengthening cybersecurity for the government of Georgia, and in case of a national crisis like mass attacks or military actions against us, Council will be managing this crisis situation. This was the final function. For effective tackling of all these threats, we have identified certain areas, and we have only few listed here on the slide. The rest relates to classified information, cannot be revealed. Institutionalization of national security review process on cybersecurity as an integral part. Also, Georgia revised of threat assessment document, which is the main working document on cybersecurity. Also, Georgia engaged in a series of international forums. Georgia recently joined the U.S. Special Anti-Cyber Crime Coalition, and also found access to Anti-Cybercrime Special Committee. As for the architecture, it is intensification of Russian-sponsored attacks and campaign in cyberspace. As Georgia becomes closer to Europe and Euro-Atlantic space, we expect to have more cyber attacks and cyber threats. And based on the statistic that we conduct, that is conducted by law enforcement agency, these threats are increasing, and the trend will remain as such in the nearest future. Also, along with it, the equipment is being updated, and whatever problems we are going to face, and what we're facing is encrypted text, encrypted communication. It's quite complicated cases for investigation, as well as development of online protection applications. And Council, as a body of national security, what can be done? We can do updating cybersecurity strategy and mechanisms, and again, the main document is going to remain the strategy. And since we possess quite a high level of knowledge, we would like to establish a constant, permanent forum. We also plan to develop cyber awareness campaigns, and also Council is responsible for crisis management. We will elaborate a cyber-related crisis management special operations plans, based on which we will be able to tackle cyber crises, and this is the last one is like everyday routine enablement of capacity building of the authorities responsible for strengthening cyber security, and we will be doing and working this on a daily basis. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Giorgi, very much for your comprehensive and interesting presentation. It was really interesting, and I'm sure you will be asked many questions during the coffee break.